Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome to the day. Welcome, 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 welcome in. What's going on, everybody? I don't do YouTube very much, to be honest with you. I really don't. But sometimes I pop on here, even when you don't know. Sometimes I just kind of hop on here, you know what I'm saying? Just is what it is. And this is what we're looking at right here. We are looking at this. Southfield, ICE out Jewish activist rally in Southfield over federal case. Good morning, Boondocks Dragon. Good to see you, my friend. Can you hear me okay? More than 60 Jewish community activists from Southeast Michigan gathered in Southfield on Thursday to protest against U.S. General Services Administration lease in the One Town Square building, which houses ICE's legal wing of the Office of Principal Legal Advisor, which basically means their fucking home office. Thank you, loud and clear. Thank you, Boondock. Appreciate it. Supposed to go to I'm dragging a little bit. That's because my laptop's not a very good one. I'm supposed to go to Detroit today to see Bernie Sanders and Abdul El-Sayed. And I just hate going by myself, man. I hate being there by myself. You know, I have a lot of physical disabilities that hinder me a lot. So it's hard for me to get up and get moving and everything. But I guess I'm going to go ahead and try it. Anyway, let's read a little bit more of this for a minute. The event, one of 16 nationwide for I see that their offices are being built up there, yes. But we've had some holding facilities going down here too in Mississippi. Ooh, I heard about that. Yeah, they're going up everywhere. I actually have one ICE facility right here next to me, like a 5-minute drive for me in Romulus. They're putting one up. And I was supposed to be for the protest yesterday, but my mind fucking slipped completely and I didn't show up. But I'll be there next Saturday for sure. The event, one of 16 events nationwide for a day of Jewish action against ICE. Did you hear that, everybody? Jewish action against ICE. Was hosted by the Southfield Neighbors Action Committee and Detroit Jews for Justice, as well as Lift Up Southfield, the Shalom Center of the ICE occupation of Minneapolis, said Rabbi Alana Alpert of the congregation. Faith leaders and organizers taught us that we must fight ICE in every possible way. Neighborhoods and cities and states must demonstrate have been carrying them through this terrible time of state-sanctioned terror. Yes. I struggle most with agoraphobia these days. Didn't start until COVID, and I'm in my 40s, so that felt late, rather unfair if you ask me. I still try to protest Yeah, I understand it, man. Sometimes, we just don't feel like getting out and being around people, man. I totally get it 100%. And especially when we're by ourselves, you know what I mean? It always helps to have somebody with you. I hate that my video is so choppy, but it's because I have this other tab pulled up. Um, yeah, I got to get me a new laptop for sure. Got to get me a streaming laptop. But I digress. The use of the building by ICE has drawn repeated critical fears, said Lauren Fink. There you go. What do you think about that? A resident and Snack co founder. We are sending a message to corporations that enable the people who hunt, detain, and murder our immigrant neighbors. Office space is being used by lawyers who strip refugee children of their legal protections. Do right by our to cancel the lease, which they're not going to do because they want that fucking money. Did you see that ICE was trying to rebrand itself as nice by trying? No, I did not see that. That is absurd. Absurd is word. That's crazy. I did not see that, but I will be looking for that. Nice. How fucking stupid. I wonder who come up with that. Fucking nice. I tell you, man, I don't even know what to say. God's intervention in Egypt shows that God sides with the oppressed. I'm not a believer in God or religion, but anyway, said Rabbi David Polsky, a Jewish educator and kashrut professional who lives in Southfield. Therefore, as Jews, we say no to the oppression of the vulnerable and no to ICE. Temple Beth El said, also in reference, we will save us by knowing our neighbors. We will save us by calling our elected officials. We will save us by going to city council meetings. We will save us by organizing. We will save us by demanding that Redico cancel the lease. A statement to the Michigan Advance from Redico said that they were aware of Thursday's rally and continue to hear from the community members about the General Services Administration lease. Yeah, sure, right. Same. We're an atheist household. Yeah. Hey, I grew up under Baptist, Southern Baptist, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get into a big religion discussion. We have been engaging consistently, directly, and transparently with Southfield city officials, community leaders, citizens, and religious leaders through in person meetings, phone calls, and written responses to questions. And we continue to hear a wide range of viewpoints. The statement continued. Redico has been part of the Southfield community since 1967, 58 years. Our employees live and work here. Our families are part of this community, and we remain deeply invested in its safety, stability, and long term success. All right. Well, that was the end of that article. And who wrote that? I didn't get the site who wrote that. Who wrote that? Catherine Daly, May 1st. All right, Catherine, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see what's going on. And then you think the country will hold up through this fascism? I'm starting to get. I don't know. I want to say yes. But my gut says no. I think we got a lot farther to fall before we pick ourselves up because there's no accountability going on and nobody is Nobody is forcing accountability upon the administration. Therefore, we cannot have accountability until we have somebody who will force the accountability. And SCOTUS is not doing anything because SCOTUS drops rulings that favor the administration for the most part. And then when they drop a ruling that goes against the administration, then the administration just does whatever it wants, anyways, with no repercussions. So, where do we go from here? Do we just, I mean, really, we can't do anything as ordinary citizens other than rise up. And if we rise up, they're going to try to come knock us down, just like they have already tried to come and knock us down. Minneapolis, DC, Portland, you know what I'm saying? They uh they don't want us to stand together. They're trying, of course, to divide us as much as possible, obviously. You know, back in the day it was, colored people, and then after colored people, it was gay people. Well, first it was colored people, then it was the mentally retarded people, as well as the colored people. Excuse me. And then after that, it was the gay people with the colored people. And then after that, here we come up in today's time, it's the colored people with the trans people. So, it doesn't matter which minority it is, they're going to lump them together. And somehow people of color get stuck in that lump all through the years. So that's a big fucking issue, man. I have to blow my nose. I apologize. I'll be right back. Yeah, that wind is really blowing today. We've got 3 young adult kids. We're talking about getting out of the country. Feel like somewhere. I'd like to. I've got. Yeah, no problem. Go ahead. I gotta get some coffee here in a second too. Um, yeah, we'd like to leave the country as well. We're not able to right now. I mean, we'd like to go on move. Obviously, Canada's the closest. I'd like to go to Canada, but and I have some friends who live in Canada who said that we were welcome. They'd help us out if we came. But I don't know, man. It's a big move. I got my mother-in-law here still. My daughter's getting married soon. One of my daughters. Um, so I don't know. I got one child that's 14 that lives at home with us. So he said he wouldn't mind going to Canada, but now he's got his whole community, a lot has changed since we've talked about doing it. And let's stop sharing this. I want to that. Maybe that'll do a little better with me, so I ain't so Asia, hey man. I got some friends who have been over there, and it's nice depending on where you go, and they got a lot better health care over there, that's for sure. Some of their laws are a little more strict and stringent. A lot of places you can't partake on the marijuana. You can't smoke marijuana in a lot of places over there. A lot of places over there aren't too fond of LGBTQ people, depending on where you go. Some places are very okay with it, some places are not, which I'm sure you've already looked into. Um, if I had a chance to search and look around, I probably would too. I'm thinking New Zealand would be nice. I wouldn't mind New Zealand. I just don't understand the marijuana laws. You know, this is 20 fucking 26. Everyone and anyone who wants to smoke marijuana in the entire world should be able to. It's no different than smoking a cigarette or having a drink of alcohol. But you know how some people are with the reefer madness. They just can't. They just can't come out of their past and be progressive about things. So we know how that goes. Oh, I don't want to get that on my pants. Damn it. Well, I guess I could look real quick here and see what we got going on. Trump's new conditions on DEI immigration could cut off wildfire funding for states, including Michigan. Well, ain't that fucking nice? A lot of tobacco companies are having problems too getting their products coming in because of the strait. I'm just hearing that too from a couple people who own stores around here. Was telling me they're not getting their shipments in. They're going to be running out of tobacco products. So yeah, and I was surprised because my natural American spirit that I smoke comes from overseas. I guess they take the tobacco and ship it overseas and have it put together and sent packaged and sent back. But hell, who knew that? You know what I'm saying? Fruit production will blow up once for well, it's already starting to get that way. I don't know if you know Kowalski from Nebraska, but he's a farmer and he's running for office too. I think Congress maybe, and yeah, he's already talking about that. And there's a lot of farmers who are already talking about that. And yeah, they're coming up with it. I'm happy to see that More Perfect Union sent a guy down and did a little piece with the Delta farmers down the road from me. I did not see that. Do you have a link to that? If you have a link to that, that would be cool. Or I could look it up here in a little bit. So yeah, this YouTube thing is fairly new for me. I'm usually on Twitch, sometimes on TikTok. I appreciate you popping in though. Maybe not maybe when I stream this evening this evening I'll be on Twitch. So I don't know if you follow me on Twitch or not. But you can catch me over there. I'm gonna try to show up around 3 o'clock and get set up. And the doors open at 4, so I got to get there and be early so I can try to be one of the first ones in the door. And then once I get set up, probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'll start streaming before the event happens. I've been trying to find somebody to go with me, but I can't get anybody that wants to go. they either have stuff to do or they don't want to be involved. You know what I mean? A lot of people like to Twitch is where I mostly stream. That's cool. I didn't know you were a streamer too. I will make sure and check you out. Yeah, YouTube actually pretty easy from what I thought. I thought I had to use my OBS, but actually I don't. I just hit the go live button. But that might be because I'm a premium member. I pay $12 a month for premium YouTube. And that might be why I have access to go live straight from YouTube. I'm not sure. But there should be a little go live button right up on the top of your right hand corner of your YouTube page if you're able to go live. It should be like a plus button. You say create, I think it says. But anyway, hey, are you following Vitingale by any chance on Twitch or TikTok? Because we'd love to see you in if you happen to pop up around. Vitingale usually goes on around 5 o'clock every weekday on Twitch and TikTok. She'll not be doing anything Monday. She was off Friday and Monday, but I usually mod for her on TikTok and Twitch. But Trump's plan for ultra-fast meat processing will be a disaster for workers and the environment. Yeah, I bet it will. Ooh, I don't even want... The ultra-fast meat processing is already a problem because, yeah, definitely appreciate that. If you notice the cuts of meat that we're getting nowadays, especially your chicken and your pork, are pretty nasty cuts when you open them up. They're kind of ganked up. But yeah, I will be right back in 2 and 2. I'm gonna grab me a cup of coffee, and it might not even take that long. I'll be right back if you don't mind. All right, we made it back. We made it back all in one piece. All in one piece. There's not much like a good cup of coffee. I tell you what, man. I love some coffee. I get that from my daddy and his daddy. Oh, Lord, what are you going to do? Let's see. Check this page out right quick here. Let's see what we got here. I think that's it right there. See if that'll pull up. There we go. Trump's plan for ultra-fast meat processing would be a disaster for work. All right, yeah, this is a pretty good little short article. I think we fresh coffee, fresh bowl, and powdered donuts. Shut up, dude. I love powdered donuts, man. I might have to go get me some. That's good. I like that. This is by Frida Garza, May 3rd, 2026 at 9 a.m. Myself together here. Fresh coffee, nothing much like it. I love it. Fresh coffee, fresh bowl. Damn, sounds good. This story was originally published by Grist. Sign up for Grist's weekly newsletter here. Never heard. Excuse me. Pardon me. Damn, that's good. In February, the United States Department of Agriculture announced two proposed changes. Move advocates say would endanger workers, yes, public health, yes, and the environment, yes. One of the proposed amendments would raise the maximum line speeds in poultry slaughter from 140 birds per minute, per minute, to 175 for chicken and from 55 birds per turkey. For swine slaughter, that no cap at all for pork processing. All right, we already have issues with getting shit in our meat. Okay? How can you have no cap on the speed? You're going to push that down the line. All right, whatever. Last week, the public comment period for the proposed amendments came to a close. Agriculture Brooke Rollins back in February. The proposal in line with other Trump administration policies. See, we have these lobbyists who are in there forking over all kinds of money saying, hey, here's you a couple 100,000, speed up the line. Yeah, right, motherfucker. We already have the worst, least hygienic processing protocols in the world. Tons of countries when you eat their meat because it is so. You are so right, Boondocks. You're so right. It's not just the meat products either. It's our other products too. The preservatives that we use. A lot of these other countries are like, no, we're not taking that shit. That's poison. No, thank you. Which is really fucking sad, man. If the rest of the world can say, hey, yo, no, that should be telling us something, but what the fuck, whatever. The proposals are in line with Trump administration policies that encourage higher meat consumption among Americans, like the revised food pyramid, of course, fucking douchebag fucking Kennedy, with its emphasis on eating more protein. But despite the promise of lower costs of higher efficiency, experts say these proposed rollbacks pose more risks than benefits to the public, which is 100% accurate. Oh man, ain't got nobody else on with this Boondocks. I have to share this and get this out on the board now. I'm be on here for a little bit more, but I got to start getting ready here soon. I got to make my lunch, fill my thermos, make sure I got my camera. Got another phone that I got to try to locate to record with. This is doubling down on an already broken and polluting food system. I know that's true, said Dana Replogle, staff attorney at Food and Water Watch, an environmental nonprofit that submitted public comments against the proposed rules. Food and Water Watch. Okay, I have to look them up too. It's interesting when you look at, I don't have my reading glasses on. That's why I got to bend over. I should put them on, but where are my reading glasses? Yo, that's a good question. Oh, that's a really good question. What do I do with my reading glasses? Wow. That's a very, very good question. Well, I guess I don't know what I did with my reading glasses, which kind of sucks. I thought that was in, but it's not. Oh well. Anyway, I apologize. I do have a pair here somewhere though. When you look at it, everything this country touches, it runs to its extreme end. Yes, you're right. We do. We fuck up everything we fucking try to deal with as an administration. We can't just fucking get shit and let it ride and be right, you know. What's that saying? Don't fuck with something if it ain't broken. You know what I mean? Which our system's always been broken, but I mean, you don't have to break it worse, you know what I mean? Everything's running the fucking ground. Look at all of our water they're ruining by selling our water to these bottling companies, by letting these fucking AI companies suck our water out of our lakes, you know? Look at our air that we're fucking breathing. I live in Detroit metro area suburbs, and I live right over the flight path for Detroit Metro Airport. So we're always getting shit polluting down in the air. You know what I'm saying? You can clean your car, wash your car. You can get up the next morning and there's so much shit on your car that it looks like you didn't even wash your car sometimes. You know, and we're breathing that. We breathe that. Every day we breathe that shit, you know. I don't know, man. I'm easily jumped off path. I could jump around and I shouldn't. I haven't taken my medicine this morning, so yes, and we breathe in it all the time. Out here in my office in my garage, come out here in the early morning hours when the sun is breaking through the window, and you can just see the shit in the air just everywhere, just floating around everywhere. You know what I mean? It's almost like you could reach out, scoop up a handful of it, which you probably could. But I mean, I don't know. What am I going to do? Yeah, pesticides in the air. I get it. You live in a farming area. There's a lot of farming areas in Michigan that are dealing with the same problem too. But what we do have a lot of organic farms rising up around here, which is really awesome. But the problem is when you have organic farms and then you have non-organic farms, even a couple miles away, you know what I'm saying? The wind will carry, you know what I'm saying? And the wind will carry and it can pollinate your farm, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what you're all are growing. So you're growing organic corn over here and you're growing fucking Monsanto corn over here. Well, you know, this shit could pollinate and mix with your organic corn. And another thing that I didn't know is if this happens, if you happen to get organic corn on your I mean, Monsanto corn on your property, they actually have the right to own that corn, even though it's on your property, which is something really fucking stupid, but whatever. Poultry rule, along with 20,000 oppose the pork rule. Yes, not to mention that Monsanto is. Yeah, exactly, exactly. They wanna sue people for that shit, that's what I'm saying, which the fucking regulations, and the courts let them do that shit, you know what I mean? I mean, if your dog comes over and shits in my yard, are you gonna come and get that and pick that up and take care of it and claim it as yours? You know what I'm saying? Or are you gonna say, "I don't want that dog shit. You can keep that dog shit." But now if it's corn that happens on my land, then you want that corn, but you don't want the dog shit, and it's both on my property. Not that I want your dog shit. The union, which successfully sued and blocked the USDA from enacting a similar change to swine line speeds in 2021, I think I do remember that now, stresses that increasing line speeds works at a meat packing plant. While various parts of the line in these facilities are automated, the beginning of the line where animals are corralled into the plants is notoriously backbreaking and dangerous work. For workers who hang the birds by their feet end up covered in fecal matter. In swine slaughterhouses, workers on the kill floor move pigs into stunning chambers. In both scenarios, unlike climate controlled segments of the line, workers are exposed to the elements and face heat, stress, very hot days, and cold days too. Um, yeah, these people hanging these chickens upside down get feces on them. That's because these fucking birds have feelings and they're scared and they're shitting themselves. You know, animals have feelings. They know when they're scared. They know when they're not scared. They know when something's bad about to happen. Oh shit, I'm getting grabbed by my feet and I'm getting hung upside down in this fucking machine that's getting ready to mechanically separate my head from my body. You know, no, breathing any of that shit isn't healthy, whether it be jet fuel, um, burn off, whether it be Monsanto chemical burn off. I mean, none of this shit's healthy. You know, our life expectancy has dropped here so much, you know, and people don't understand. We got the best healthcare, yeah, but we got the worst fucking nation when it comes to preventing health problems. You know what I'm saying? We poison our people. Fecal matter, very hot days. Further down the line, workers handle knives and often labor shoulder to shoulder. They make repetitive motions for hours at a time, making the same cuts over and over to process hundreds of thousands of birds and swine. This workforce already runs the risk of developing carpal tunnel syndrome and enduring injury rates go up when line speeds increase 100%. Yes, we have the most expensive healthcare without a doubt. The USDA consists this finding in its proposed rule. The USDA states that a study funded by the agency's Food Safety and Inspection Service determined that the increased line speeds during the evisceration segment of the line were where internal organs are removed from dead animals to gross are not associated with the higher risk of musculoskeletal disorders. The study authors, however, have since said that the proposed rule fundamentally misunderstands characterizes the scope of the results. That's true. I mean, you can have people come in and stand there for, you know, a couple days saying, "Oh, it looks good. It looks good on paper." But unless you're sitting there doing that shit 5, 6 fucking days a week, 8, 10 hours a day, fucking 52 weeks a year, you don't fucking have a clue what's going on, okay? You can stand there for fucking 2 days and watch, but unless you're physically doing the fucking work, you ain't got shit to say, bro. That's just the way I look at it. When it comes to any fucking job, dude, you know, and I hate for people to come and tell me that I'm doing not doing my job right or I could do it better when they've not done the fucking job themselves. I've been in a lot of instances like that. The potential for injury to these workers, it's just something people can't deny, said Mark Lauriston, who leads UFCW's Food Processing, Packaging, and Manufacturing Division. Quite honestly, line speeds are too fast now, which I agree with. They are too fast now. In response to a request for comment, the spokesperson from the USDA said, decades of data prove that plants can run at a higher speeds while maintaining process controls and meeting every federal food and safety standard. They also found if they discover a problem. All. But Trump also cut back the number of food line inspectors. So we don't have nearly as many in these factories, production plants as we used to begin with. Ultimately, the spokesperson said the USDA's legal authority is strictly limited to ensuring food safety and process control. We do not have the power to regulate piece rates or how private companies manage their staff. Piece rates refer to the number of items, such as whole birds or parts, handled by the workers per minute. Per minute. Which you just said earlier up there, like some 140 something per minute. When it comes to meat processing, going faster is not good for the environment either, said Lord. Will necessarily increase the amount of water used, of course it will, and the amount of waste discharged into local ecosystems, of course it will. Of course, I get it, and I agree that it's more dangerous for these employees, but that's not even the first thing that crosses my mind in regard to increasing line speed. It's unhygienic. Yes, yes, and I think they were getting into that too. Yes, unhygienic. It's already unhygienic as it is, because you don't know, who's in there coughing on your food as it's going down the line. You don't know who's in there who their hands or has busted gloves on or whatever, cold, flu, COVID, whatever, and they're coughing on your food. They're not going to stop a line. Somebody comes in coughing. Ooh, he coughed on that chicken. Let's stop the line. Not Replicol. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Replogel, whatever. The attorney at Food and Water Watch also believes that if slaughterhouses go faster, then factory farms will decide to raise more animals to fill these farms known as confined animal feeding operations. Okay, it's not a cow farm. It's not a pig farm. Are another gigantic source of water pollution, in particular in nitrate pollution, yes, said Replagol, as well as greenhouse gas emissions across the U.S. CAFOs are also linked to higher levels of air pollution in uninsured and Latino communities. In its proposed rule for poultry slaughter, the USDA states that the increasing line speeds would not affect consumer demand for the establishment's products, and that only expected sales of poultry products would determine production levels in establishments. That's not true. You cranking more out, they're gonna raise the price. It don't matter how much more you put it in there. They're gonna raise the prices. People are gonna be buying. They're not gonna buy more just because you got more on the shelf. We can't afford it as it is. You're just gonna have more that go to waste. Okay. I worked for Walmart for 10 years as a backroom stocker late overnight. We did overnight, is what we did. And I know the food that we threw away outdated. We threw a lot of outdated food away. Slight expected poultry demand for the U.S. is already quite high, with most Americans eating more than 1.5 times the daily protein requirement. Yeah, if everybody backed down and quit eating so much, so unclear that increasing line speeds would actually lower the price of chicken and pork at the grocery store. No, it will not. Slaughter capacity would only result in lower poultry and pork prices at the grocery store if slaughterhouses pass on their savings through the supply chain. That outcome, Ortega said, would run economic incentives, which they're not going to do. They're not going to lower their prices. They're pumping out more food. They're not lowering their prices. Why would they? They're not going to. For some workers, the proposition of increased line speeds has already been made real. Magali Lakali is a labor organizer. Magali Lakali is a labor organizer based in Springdale, Arkansas. At voicemail. Credit card companies hit me up. I got to make a payment. Foods large that poultry workers in Northwest Arkansas at companies she did not name say they have already been told to work faster. We had a meeting with workers from different companies, and all of them stated that line speed had increased. Yeah, already increased. So where are we at here? I guess are essential to a stable food supply. However, worker safety is overseen by the Department of chicken or pork, but being able to exploit workers to get them better and faster. Yes, that's true. That is somehow the companies save that is somehow the companies save money, said Berkowitz. In a case like this, Berkowitz argues that the workers and the environment are treated as expendable. Yes, we are. We have been for a long time. It's just churning through workers, she said. In other words, exploitation 101. For sure, dude. For sure. For sure. Yeah, that was a good little article. Uh, just got to slap in the face of how old I am. Picketed very process impact in 2002. Yeah, brother, we're all there, man. I'm 1968, bro. So yeah, I was born in June of '68. So yeah, I know it's catching up, man. My ginger hair is now gray. I used to have a really ginger hair when I was young. And my hair was still pretty red at the age of 40. It was still pretty red. It was a reddish brown, but it was red. But these last 17 years, man, damn, bro. I can hit you hard, man. Hit you hard. Yeah, I don't know that I got anything else going on right now. Been up and running for about an hour. I did not mean to do that. Sorry, guys. Hang on a second. That was a total accident. Open a new window because I want to try to. I know it's going to drop right over top of this window because why wouldn't it? And let's jump right here real quick. Chat. Am I still? Where's my Okay, hang on a second. Bookmarks. Let's see where we're at here. Let's see if we can find something else to look at real quick before I jump off here. We'll check out Pink News real good. Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out, Boondocks. I'm gonna be on here just for a couple more minutes. Nothing too long. I want to get the latest from Pink News. 7 U.S. presidents who were rumored to be gay and bisexual. Shut up, including James Buchanan. Are you kidding me? Hey, I'm sure we've had gay president in office before. Somebody asked AOC the other day, what do you think we'll have first, a woman president or a gay president? And her response was great. It was something to the effect of, I'm not sure that we haven't already had a gay president. Something like that, I believe it was. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Oh, right here it is. Rep AOC has said she believes that the United States may have already had a gay president. That was funny as shit. She was asked by TMZ if she thought there would be a female or gay president first, when she said, we don't know if we've already had a gay president. I think there are chances that maybe we have, but I don't know. That's the greatest answer, dude. I love it. When pushed on the question with the suggestion that some of the voters were hesitant to elect a woman, she said, I think anything can happen. I don't really buy into the skepticism. A man has lost almost every presidential election as well. A lot of men do lose presidential elections. So when it comes to a woman, I think it's more about what we're actually fighting for as opposed to the body that we're in. Good answer, AOC. Man, I'm going to trim up before I go. Quote, so I think it's about not taking big money, fixing campaign finance reform, and trying to fight for people, raising wages, help people make a living. I think if we have someone who fights for the right things and speaks to the right people, then maybe we can overcome the gender gap and be able to make history. End quote. There have been 45 presidents to date, over 47 presidencies. Okay, that's 45. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because Grover Cleveland, he was president twice at two different times. He didn't get reelected. He got elected, he lost, he got elected again. Just like dickhead Trump here. And according to official doctrine, all of them have supposedly been heterosexual. This includes Trump. He loves his big, handsome Secret Service men. It was Trump who is married to his third wife, Melania. Let's throw that dig in there. But given at least 43 presidents, were serving at a time when homosexuality was still oppressed. There has long been speculation of a few gay trysts flying under the radar. We count down 7 other leaders who have been dogged by rumors. James Buchanan. He looks, oh, here, let me throw this up on screen. Sorry. I should have threw this up on screen. It would have been better for you to see. Let me put this up on screen. See you later, Boondocks. I know you got stuff to do and you're gone, but I appreciate you being here as long as you were. So look at this handsome devil. He looks like he might be a little bit Let me do this. I might have to shrink my screen down a little bit. Let's take it to 125. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, look. Lyndon B. He looks like Lyndon might be a little bee. On. She was asked by TMZ. I read all that. So then take money. I read all that. Rumors James Buchanan. Oh, here's where we are right here. I thought I was down further. Buchanan was the 15th president of the United States, serving just one term from 1857 to 1861. You unlucky bastard. Let's see what we got going on here. Ineffective presidents. Considered one of the most ineffective presidents, the lifelong bachelor, has faced speculation about his sexuality. Yeah, I guess, anyway, that was maybe one thing because he was a lifelong bachelor. Maybe, I don't know. Time is it? It's 1. I got to leave here in 2 hours. No, I got to leave here in an hour and a half. Considered the most ineffective about his sexuality. Many have raised questions about Buchanan's close and intimate relationship with future Vice President William Rufus King. I did not know we had a vice, which I don't know all my vice presidents. Having lived together for more than a decade. Oh, yeah. They. Excuse me. From the influential Catholic. Oh, yeah, he was our first Catholic, wasn't he? Kennedy family. John F. Kennedy served as 35th president of the United States from 61. Kirk Lemoyne Lem Billings. After the pair met in prep school. Shit. They were just good friends, don't you think? Look at them. Don't they just look like good friends? The pair were inseparable, with Mr. Billings helping run Kennedy's presidential campaign and serving bedroom in the White House. Shut the fuck through their relationship, though their relationship was considered platonic at the time. Author Jerry Oppenheimer, who on the receiving end, you calling Jack the bottom? Is that what you're calling? You calling Jack the bottom? Jack was the bottom. Man, this dude is not gay. Barack Hussein Obama is not gay, dude. He does not have any gayness about him. I'm sorry, bro. That is the most straight dude with swagger that I've ever seen. He's got swagger. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm not even gonna dignify that. I'm not even gonna read that because that's bullshit. But Johnson, I could see that. I could see that. He served 2 terms. He served the rest of the 1 term and then he got another term. Lyndon B. Johnson served as 37th president from 63 to 69 amid showdowns over government persecutions of gay people. However, he dodged scandals himself when his close personal friend and de facto chief staff writer Walter Jenkins was outed. Ooh. Ahead of the 64 presidential election, Jenkins was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct with another man in a public YMCA restroom. Wow. Wowzers. You got caught, dude. You shouldn't have got caught. Took it to the bedroom and locked the fucking door, is what you should have done. You don't do that shit in a fucking YMCA restroom. What the fuck is wrong with you? Johnson insisted that he had no idea about Jackson's personal life, saying, I couldn't have been more shocked about Walter Jenkins tried to kill the Pope, about the suggestive innuendo with bumper stickers joking all the way with LBJ. Don't go near the YMCA. Oh, shit. They're not even going to give Alexander Hamilton a picture. You couldn't find a picture of Hamilton? This is crazy. Bill and Hillary. I could see maybe Bill. All right. Well, Boondock, appreciate you being here and appreciate you hanging out. And maybe we'll get to do this again. But as of right now, I think I need to go get myself ready. I got to trim my face up a little bit. I got to clean myself up, look presentable, and get my stuff together and I guess try to start heading that way here before long. So peace out, you guys. Stay safe. Love you. Always be good. Always be good.